Hello, this is Rod Ovett, and I thought I'd take a moment to tell you a little bit about what we do here prior to today's meditation. I'm director of Logos Institute of Biblical Studies, and I teach there as well. Weekly, we offer 4 classes, a collegiate-type class, baccalaureate level, where we have your basic Bible college curriculum available. And based on that, we have provided a lot of material on tape, both video and audio, and we're constantly working on materials so we can provide them to missionaries, provide them to people like yourself in sound bites. We just have it in our hearts to present the Word of God in a practical manner to people so they can connect with it throughout the week, not just wait from Sunday to Sunday. So in the weeks and months ahead, you'll hear a lot from us about different things we're doing to provide these types of studies for you. Words of encouragement, word studies, we'll have Greek words, we'll have theological words and definition. We'll be building all of this up through different mediums, the Logos Institute page, an app that we'll be coming out with shortly called Everyday Theologian, and our Logos Institute Facebook page. Today I'd like to look at 1 Chronicles chapter 29. It's actually some of the last words that David gave. It's David's prayer and his standing before the nation as his son Solomon takes over, and he's acknowledging all the gifts that the people had given toward a temple. And we really see the heart of David poured out here. And I'd like to just jump into the middle, where David, in his ever so humble way, says, "But who am I?" Verse 14. "Who am I, and who are my people that we should be able to give as generously as this? Everything comes from you, and we have given you only what comes from your hand." Now this is something I'd like you to hear. "We are aliens and strangers in your sight, as were all our forefathers. Our days on earth are like a shadow." So it's an interesting word he uses there, toshab, and it basically means a visitor with ties elsewhere. He says we're an alien, we're a stranger in this land. And isn't that interesting? It's David in the Old Testament using that term, and we usually think of that type of attitude and complexity to life from the New Testament. In fact, Peter, I believe, picks up that thought when we read 1 Peter chapter 2 and pick it up on verse 9. "But you are a chosen people, a royal priesthood, a holy nation, a people belonging to God, that you may declare the praises of him who called you out of darkness into his wonderful light. Once you were not a people, but now you are the people of God. Once you had not received mercy, but now you have received mercy." Then he goes, "Dear friends, I urge you as aliens and strangers in the world to abstain from sinful desires that war against your soul." Isn't that interesting? He's basically using the same word, sojourners, we're strangers, we're people with ties elsewhere, and that begs the question, is that how we really live? I mean, do you and I go around throughout the week acting as if our real residence is elsewhere, aka heaven? Or do we have our feet so firmly planted on terra firma that everything's about me and everything's about what I can get and everything's about the here and now? And I'll just leave God Sundays and I'll get my little boost on Sundays, and the rest of the week I've just got to be about building things for me, for the future. And somehow we act as if eternity is not the future. But it is the greater future, believe me. So what do we do with this? It's something David said. He believed in his heart that even though he was king of Israel, he knew that there was more than just the life here. He knew in his heart of hearts that there was a heaven, that he would go to see his God, and that would be for a long time and mean something. And Peter's saying the same thing. He's near the end of his life. He's followed the Lord faithfully. And he would say to all of us as collective Christians, we are a chosen people, a royal priesthood, a holy nation, a people belonging to God. Do you feel as if you belong to God? You do. He's chosen us. He's pulled us out of our sin. He's allowed us the privilege to become his sons and daughters. Jesus said, I go to prepare a place for you, and he's done that. We have a heavenly home waiting for us, and so while we're here, we are to act as if our home is elsewhere, and we are here as God's representatives. So think about that as we go throughout the week. What are we doing for the kingdom? Your feet might be planted here, but where's your heart? You tell God today, Father, thank you so much for letting me be your son, letting me be your daughter. Let me live in such a way that it pleases you. Have a great day.